Make this a quick one. Wasn't planning on jumping out here hanging out forever like I have been doing before. Peace, peace, family. I'm back with another one. So today, what I want to do is I want to talk about how your fruits will always outshine their weapons. Your fruits will always outshine their weapons. You know what I mean? Whether you want to call them weapons, tactics, attacks. You know what I'm saying? Focused energy, you know what I'm saying? There's numerous things that you could call it, but what we're gonna start with today is just your fruits just outshining their weapons. And I've been kind of experiencing life as always, so it just kind of come to the surface. But I wanted to start off with an example of how your fruits just always kind of compensates for their weapons that they choose to try to use against you. You know what I'm saying? And one cartoon that was really good for it was the Looney Tunes, Wildy Coyote and the Road Runner. You know what I'm saying? Wildy Coyote, he tried a lot of different tactics to try to get the Road Runner, you know what I'm saying, to crash out to do something weird. But the way the Coyote used his tactics, it wasn't as wise, and he didn't have the right intentions behind it, so he could never get the grasp on the Road Runner. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like what we out here experiencing every day on a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of beings out here who wake up and go to sleep, you know what I mean, and their energy and their thought process and their time is focused on you. How can they tweak your energy? How can they make you a little bit more confused? How can they make you a little bit more chaotic? How could they actually harm you? Some of them we already know is trying to take us out the picture. You know what I mean? Whether it's out of your little one's life, out of your peers' life, or just out of this realm, period. But what I've been realizing just going through this journey, right? I'm not saying it like I'm somebody, but the way the universe places us down in these places, clearly they was trying to position some of us to be in different positions. I say that to say like I've received a lot of attacks when I was younger that I didn't realize was attacks. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize people was trying to sabotage me. I didn't realize people was coming at me. I didn't realize people was trying to manipulate my energy. You know what I'm saying? This is like when I was younger. Not saying I was dumb or naive, but I didn't experience that demonic frequency outside of, I didn't get a chance to experience that demonic frequency until I got outside of my mom's house, where there was, I grew up in it, so it was normal to me. So until I was able to get into another space to where it wasn't as normal, I was able to look back and reflect on my experiences and my time in my life. You know what I mean? And growing up in a household where, there's little to no emotional connection, you know what I'm saying? Is here, go play there. I got you some toys there, got you some food there, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Just winging you out there to kind of figure it out. A lot of us, when we was younger, because I know for me, when I was younger, out of my siblings, I was the one who always kept everybody's spirits up, but I was always the one who was always curious and always had to go explore and go do my own thing. And when I was younger, I didn't have all the knowledge and information, but I knew that people enjoyed laughing, smiling. I knew these things felt good, because I knew it felt good to me. So I knew that if these beings is processing like me, it has to feel good to them as well too. You know what I'm saying? So understanding like, I don't know what they doing. They tweaking something around. But understanding like your fruits, I didn't have in my mind, in my spirit world, I didn't have a lot of fruits when I was younger. Younger is, for me, when I say younger, I'm speaking of 4 to 5 up to like 16, 17. That's what I mean by younger, because those are the ages where most of us are in the house with who's ever taking care of us. You know what I mean? And like one small example of like just being in the house of it, while I wasn't aware, I remember like my junior year, I wanted to repeat my well, I was getting ready going to my senior year, but I wanted to repeat my junior year. I was in a public school where I was at, but they had private schools on the outskirts of me. And somehow I got connected with one of the football coaches, one of the basketball coaches, Phil Stinney. And we worked out, he worked me out, did a lot of practice. We did a lot of drills, you know what I'm saying? Like it was, one of the other guys was Chris Long. His dad is Howie Long in the NFL, and Chris went to the NFL and all that stuff too. But we used to all be working out together and doing these things in a certain environment, right? And I realized like I had did this for 2-3 months, figuring out my own rides, how to get over there. I'm still in high school. I'm doing all of this stuff. I just knew that, okay, it's something else that I want to do that I know I'm supposed to do, but I don't know how to go about doing it. And I don't have any elders to kind of help me in that space. I realized once I took my visit to the school after I spent 3 months up there, like just practicing with the coach. When I went to tour the school, I chopped it up with the football coach. He was trying to get me out there on the team too. So when the basketball stuff had ended, I wasn't on their team. I was just out there practicing, doing drills. They was getting me ready to prep me to get me to come to the school. So I started doing it with the football coach. I'm doing all of this on my own. You know what I'm saying? And I remember like really wanting to transfer out of my high school so I could go to this other school, so I could be a zombie robot doing sports. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a lot of recruits looking at me for basketball, but I love football too. I like that contact. I'm a physical being. You know what I'm saying? I'm spiritual, but I understand this realm extremely well. But I say all that to say, like, that was a time where I put so much work in at a teenager that my mom could have assisted me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Or even my stepdad, because I do give him the credit of at least getting the title of my stepdad, because he was around, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like he led me in the best direction, but he was a present male around for over 10 years, you know what I mean? So for me, that's when I took a big chunk of understanding, like, it's no way that this being who made me could want the best for me, and they see how much work I'm putting in, and they don't have any support or guidance or assistance to help get me to a better space. So the transition happened once I didn't get into that school and I didn't have no help. That's when I started doing my own thing. I skipped so much school my senior year that there was no more, I had to take summer classes to finish that out, right? And I say all that to say, because I wanted to have a starting ground. We are young at certain ages where we don't even know our fruits that we're lingering or leaving behind us. It takes us a while to get to a certain place in ascension in life for us to actually start reflecting back and understanding what was going on with us then and what's happening with us now. You know what I'm saying? And as we get older, it's easier to tell your fruits. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, I started this channel in 2015 and I've been staying consistent and putting a lot of work into it through all my trials and tribulations. I done went through a rack of shit since I've been doing this, and I'm still doing it. You know what I'm saying? But I say that to say, like, that's me being aware of a higher ascension level of this transition that I'm in, and being aware of my fruits that's being left behind me. Once you start understanding, like, your fruits is kind of what you use to fuel yourself in real life, right? So when people eat fruits in real life, it kind of gives them the energy, and your body gets the nourishments that it needs. When you get the real fruits, they make us feel better. The real fruits is a physical form of the fruits we produce. The physical fruits is a physical representation of the spiritual fruits we produce. So for me, I spend a lot more time in the spiritual realm, in the invisible world, paying attention and trying to line these different things up. So for a lot of us that was put in that confusing space with all these weird beings around us, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I had heard a simple statement from my aunt, and she had told me before, because I was like in this weird space that was going crazy. I had just moved back up to New York. Ben was pregnant. It was like a whole lot of stuff going on at the time, and I was just like, it felt like everybody was against me, blah, blah, blah. I was just pounding up here, and I was like, damn, and I had like such a hard time reflecting. I kind of started putting it all on myself, even though I know I am accountable for my life. That's one thing I'm aware of. I am accountable for my life. But I can always take account into what the other beings are doing around me, and we cannot always take into account to what the other beings are doing around us. We can only prepare ourselves, you know what I mean? And she had made one easy, simple statement, which is like, she said something like, you not crazy, it is them. Because I was kind of thinking to myself and speaking to her out loud, just kind of saying like, yo, I feel like I keep having this tug of pull, and it's like everywhere I go, wherever I'm at, it's always like this weird friction. Like I keep being the issue, which I am to a small degree because I'm accountable, but then I understood the war that was going on. My frequency was raising in all these spaces that I was, you know, going to. I wasn't on those frequencies. So me not being on those frequencies, I was telling somebody else the other day, it's like listening to a radio station. You walk into my house and I'm playing, let's say I'm playing hip hop, and then you come in with your phone on and you playing country music. It's two different frequencies. So you gotta understand, like that's a different vibe than this vibe over here. And to bring all of that back together, right? A lot of my fruits from taking in my position with the creator, you know what I'm saying, has saved my life. It has gave me so much strength tremendously from within, just to be able to address certain beings, to address certain situations, to kind of know where I'm supposed to implant myself in, to stand solid in the middle of a fire, you know, just a lot of things, just put myself in different positions so that way I can make it to the next transition and receive the information that I'm supposed to receive. The creator has rankings just like the demonic team has rankings. So it's like in real life, when you doing good and you moving up, your social credit does good. It's the same thing in the spiritual realm. The more righteous and the more work you putting in, the more you move up in the rankings. You know, for whatever your field or your position or level is, or that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody isn't a warrior. So you may be, you know, somebody who is a healer, like a different kind of healer. Maybe like you specialize in foods, you know, and you only had access to these certain kind of foods and ideas, and all of a sudden, because you've been staying so consistent, now you're getting access to more ideas to do different things. Now you got flour and you figuring out how to make this flour into pancakes. You know what I mean? So it's just understanding, like a lot of our fruits save our life as well too. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been to the point, and it's getting to the point to where if you don't have any fruit, any healthy, righteous fruit falling out your pockets and popping out behind you all over the place, then you're gonna have a hard time with these oppositions out here, because it's only getting worse. You know what I'm saying? We're not in a position where it's like, oh yeah, well, it's starting to get better. We got one more hit from the system before we can even get the rest of these shackles off of us. You know what I mean? So I brought this up because there's been numerous of more attacks going on, right? But I haven't even been focused on them. They've been happening, but my energy, and I know if my energy is that way, y'all energy is that way too. That's why we kind of get frustrated when we get to these spaces that so many people can focus their energy on us while we're not focusing our energy on it. We're trying to figure out how to pay this next bill. We're trying to figure out what we're gonna do the next day. We're trying to figure out the future. We're figuring ourselves out from within outwardly. It's all these other things that we are working on, and we always get brought back to this reality with a hard smack to remind you that it is a lot of beings out here that's just attacking and that's just lining people up. You know what I mean? I'd seen a video where a damn raccoon just went up and started biting a little girl. The little girl was like, she was crying, screaming. The mom went out the house trying to help the little girl. She got the raccoon off the little girl. Now the little raccoon is killing the mom's hand, tearing it up. Both of them got chomped up. You know what I'm saying? So who knows what kind of GMO stuff was in the raccoon stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the animal, you got natural life, nature. These animals out here, everybody is bugged out of character. Then you got us humans who's so intelligent, we became retarded. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna call your phone a smartphone when humans made the phone? You know, just call it a phone. Why you gotta call it a smart TV when you should be more knowledgeable than the TV? Aren't you telling the TV what to do? All of these things are spells. So that's what I mean by as far as your fruits. I didn't have all the knowledge and information before. You absolutely right. Time to go on the offensive. I was going to get there too. You are absolutely right. I had to go on some offense earlier today. It was like I kept bobbing and weaving. It's kind of like you in the kitchen cooking, and then your daughter or your son or your brother or sibling, somebody keep coming picking with you, you know what I'm saying? But you just like, nah, chill. And then you get back to cooking, or you get back to doing whatever it is you doing, but they continuously doing it until one time you just put the spatula down, you're like, hey, I told you to chill. You just hit them with a quick slap, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like you was even excessive with it. But the thing is with us, we even feel guilty even when we have to do that. And that's like a part of a discipline and a part of, don't you keep disrespecting me and my boundaries and me as a being. And I don't mean physically slapping all the time, you know what I'm saying? Just spiritually. You could have just been quiet in the kitchen whipping, and they kept bugging you about 5-10 times, and all of a sudden you decide to say, chill the fuck out, you know what I'm saying? Or you say, could you please stop? You have your method on how you would say it and address it to them, you know what I mean? And I had this one being just keep whipping, they kept whipping and stirring shit up, and I'm just like, chill, chill. Every time they slap it, every time they try to do it, I push it away. Every time they try to do it, I just push it away, like chill, chill, chill. I go back to figuring out life, you know what I'm saying? I don't just say my life, because my life didn't really become valid and more valid until I started living for more beings, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean just like my mini, because I was living for other people before my mini. Yo, peace up, King, peace up, everybody, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know I just get in here and I just start going. I don't play no instrumental beats. I don't start telling you to like, comment, and subscribe. Like, you could pop in and vibe or not, you know what I'm saying? That's just how this is out here, you know what I mean? So your fruits and these attacks are gonna go hand in hand, because even if you aren't a firm believer in the Bible, these weapons are not prospering. What's happened is we see the weapons and then we become a little bit more fearful because we see the weapon or we saw the weapon. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody running down on you and they got a gun and you don't have a gun. It's a little bit of fear attached to it, right? Here's the gun, boom, gun. Here's the fear. It's just a little bit attached to it, but depending on how you perceive it, depends on how much fear engulfs all of this. So then that's when you become too fearful to even think, process, and figure out how to get yourself out of that situation or to defend yourself properly. Yeah. My thing is with the animals, like they do have feelings. I would feel more comfortable, and people would feel more comfortable if they were the ones hunting and cutting and gutting and cooking that particular animal. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what the hell we get. Most of our stuff is GMO'd up now, which is why we all burnt out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I say we, because we all are the same to a degree. You know what I mean? Like, even the evil ones, like, you know how much shit I done learned from these evil motherfuckers? Like, it was a lot of spaces that I used to think of, like, because I knew I would never dive into those spaces. And then I come across beings who love to live in those spaces, you know, and they intentionally go out their way to hurt and harm somebody. And to me, I done been in enough situations where I could have been an extra bully, a super bully, a bully, you know what I'm saying? And that just won't never my vibes. To me, I don't get no power, no strength for that. It's almost like the creator tried to slap me in the face or try to shun me or some shit when I do something like that, you know what I mean? So, you know, I don't get anything from that. But what happens is they formulate so many weapons. If you focus on the weapons, that fear most likely will engulf you. So you have to do your best not to focus on the weapon. Be aware of the weapon. We are too intelligent to not know how to operate in both realms. And that's kind of where we got super disconnected at, because now we put the physical realm in place before the spiritual realm. Everything happens in here first. Everything does. You saw the content, you was like, oh, you thought about it and then you clicked it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like it was just there, you clicked it, then you start thinking about it. It's always the opposite way around. So just being aware of these things, the more fruits that I have been putting down, I have been sowing so much shit that I probably could have been harvesting and reaping. But the way my shit is set up and the amount of that I've been through, I'm just like, no, I want to prepare for 2 winners before people prepare for 1 winner. Now I'm in a space where, nah, I need to be prepared for 2 winners 3 winters, 4 winters, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not talking about when it's actually cold. I'm talking about that spiritual winter season when you got everything going up against you and you are doing everything in your power to just keep your frequency up and high. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm running into a few more people here and there that's just telling me things about how they, since they've been raising their frequency, it seemed like the people around them has been doing more weird, witchy stuff, just like gaslighting them and just doing all kind of, calling them paranoid and all kind of other weird shit. And to me, it's like, I don't even believe in that word paranoid. That's fair. You know what I'm saying? If I start processing something too much and I find myself about to say paranoid, I'm like, oh shit, that's just a lot of fear. I gotta shift it. We all go into that space occasionally because it's there and you get a little bit of fear attached to everything. That's almost like you get a little bit of water attached with everything. It's just how you perceive it. So a lot of these beings have been doing what the physical culture has been doing. They've been figuring out how to perfect these guns, how to perfect these missiles, how to perfect these things that they put in us that, you know, it just does something, and all these other weapons that they use, you know what I'm saying? They're focused on that. We just focused on being light, moving more righteously. Our friction don't come in until they have the issue. They have the issue. And that's where we got to get to a place of understanding. It's a lot less of us than it is of them. So they can go back and gossip to a bunch of zombie robots and then have everybody in cahoots and believing that you this weird, bad, evil person when your fruits is constantly showing otherwise. That's why I say our fruits is way more valuable and important. That's why they doing what they doing to our real fruits, because they know how valuable and important they are. And once you're able to flip these concepts and once you're able to flip these concepts and understand these things, man, I promise you, it's gonna make life a lot easier. I just had somebody formulating a big ass rocket launcher against me, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, that's a rocket launcher. I see it. And then I processed real quick, and then I figured out, okay, if they shoot the rocket or when they shoot the rocket, I already got my exits and avenues already figured out. You know what I'm saying? Or I got my defense super airtight. And if that's not the case, we go to the last resort, the fruits. The fruits just come rolling on in there. It's like, oh, okay, you tried to do all this other weird witchy shit to this other being, and their fruits is showing otherwise. And the great thing about life is, as long as you're living, each year that goes by, it makes them more crazy, delusional, and demonic, and it makes you more righteous. You know what I'm saying? It makes you more of a solid being. And that's where I like to vibe at. You know what I'm saying? I woke up today, had my alarm set for like 5:36, but I didn't get up. Y'all know how it is. Sometimes you set them, sometimes you roll and get up, sometimes you don't. Today was one of the days I didn't. Got a message at 6:30, 4:35 or some shit from some random number. Just saying some off the wall shit, just some long ass message. And it's like, I don't know if it's from a guy or a girl, but I don't read long messages like that from a girl. So if you a guy messaging me, trying to make me feel like less of a being or something, then bro, it's not working. You have to approach me like a man. Women can try to do that, but you as a man, you have to approach me as a man. You cannot send no other man no long ass message at 6:30 in the AM. You know what I'm saying? Why are you on his spirit so heavy? What is your focus other than being demonic? It's 2 playbooks. You know what I'm saying? So the more we understand it's just 2 playbooks, you don't have to dance around everything else. You know what I'm saying? If I hit somebody at 6:30 in the AM, it's not for me to drop a bunch of drama on them right away as soon as they get back to their vessel, because I already understand their spirit left the vessel. Now they're coming back. Now they're being hit with, oh shit, the world that they created while they've been here, or the world that they are formulating due to this systematic jail system we are in, you know what I'm saying, that we got going on. So they weapons don't prosper. I'm not saying you ain't gonna feel them weapons, but your fruits is way more powerful. What up, CJ? Your fruits are way more powerful. The problem with the fruits is they take time. That's the biggest problem with it. They take time. You know what I'm saying? Like, before I had my daughter, I could say all in the world that, oh, I want to be a good father. I want to do this. I want to do that, nigga. But that shit don't mean nothing when the time comes and she here and I ain't fighting or standing solid or doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Then I'm just talking out my ass and being witchy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not standing solid on my words. My words is a reflection of how I'm processing things inside and I'm presenting it outwardly. Most beings don't do that. They're just blabbering words out there. And then when you talk to some of these blabberers and you start making sense, they just get quiet or they'll get really angry and frustrated and try to flip the script. You know what I'm saying? It's never let me open up my space to try to be a little bit more understanding. You know what I'm saying? First, you got to put God and the creator first. Then you put these other weird perspectives or you put these great righteous perspectives in place. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're righteous don't mean you don't have fun. You know, it's a lot that goes into it. Like, you cannot say you were part of the creation. You don't see how loving and fun this universe could be without us witchy humans doing weird stuff. You cannot say that. I done just pulled up and seen certain mountains and lakes and rivers and different little locations, just like, yo, this is crazy. Just even seeing it, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you know it's a lot of order, structure, loving, and caring that went into this, that went into us. And that's why we have to be more mindful of our fruits. And you don't have to, the thing is, when people are trying to get at you in certain spaces, and you have the fruits to show, you don't have to give that energy verbally. You don't have to, because your fruits already show. It's like what I was saying about my daughter. Like, I had a church I'm in Miami, right? Detached from. Yeah, you gotta detach, but you also want to stay connected. What you want to do is master that, because they've already programmed us to kind of be detached. You know what I'm saying? So just be mindful of your detachment and try to make it like a 50-50 or try to dance around and play with it, because we still living. So you want to figure out how to master it. We in a witchy system, so I ain't gonna tell y'all to just like, yeah, just be loving to everybody. Like, yeah, you can, but you better keep yourself ready. I'm just saying. I've seen some really bad things happen to people. I almost had some bad shit happen to me. But when you fighting for so long, the creator always make sure you okay. I was just processing a bunch of shit yesterday. I was like, I don't know how to figure all this shit out. And all of a sudden, I get a weird witchy message at 6:30 today. And then later on this evening, I got some great news. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how much can you bear and take? How much do you know about your process? How comfortable are you with your fruits? How solid, how honest? All of these things go into place. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if my daughter see me doing something that I know she gonna go back into her mom because her mom is gonna question her and pound her, I'd be like, just tell her. If it was something that I really didn't want getting back to her mom, I'd just make sure it wasn't in your vicinity or around, or I wouldn't say it. I'd keep my mouth shut. But I would never tell my daughter, yeah, just go over there and lie. No, because she already knows that it doesn't feel good to do that. And I'm not going to co-sign that, yeah, just go ahead and lie because it keeps daddy out of the way of your mommy being El Pollo Loco. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I've been taking the brutal shit. So if that means that my daughter got to go be honest, because her mom is pounding and hounding her over some information, because y'all know they like to do the whole interrogation thing, and they claim they got information that they don't have just to get you to spill the information. Yeah, we are reprogramming our subconscious, so we will have difficulty communicating with the average. Big facts. But the benefits is that we can manifest, co-create our reality. Big facts, CJ. That's big facts. I be on that. But that's where we are right now. And that's the hardest part, is that we are the generation, everybody that's here right now in this round are the generation that's part of this weird witchy stuff. In the next 10 years, no matter what happens with the system, it's gonna be more orchestrated and more ordered, because people are gonna be moving super more righteous, or they're gonna be moving super more witchy. You know what I'm saying? But right now we're in that space to where the information all hit for us. So now we trying to figure out, all right, well, damn, you trying to tell me I lost my leg, I just gotta live with that? But I thought I could get a prosthetic. You right, you can, but it's still not yours. You know what I'm saying? We can substitute it, but That's the hardest part right now is the communication. That's what you see. I'm talking to you guys about our verbiage and our words and how we use our shit, and how powerful it is, and our actions behind it. You know what I'm saying? The work that you put in 2 years ago can be paying off right now. You know what I'm saying? You may not feel it and know it, but other beings feel it and they see it. You know what I mean? So I wasn't this being before, you know what I'm saying? I was me, but I wasn't this being. You know, I transitioned. I was a caterpillar, now I'm a butterfly. You know what I mean? So we don't stop growing once you get to high school and all that other stuff. We continue to grow in the sin. Peace and blessings. Peace, family. So just being aware, like the more fruits you put down, that's more defense, that's more ammo against their weapons. They are focused on how to make missiles, shoot into the sky, shoot into your face. We're figuring out how to heal the universe, how to take care of our community around us. We are that alone should let us know that we are somewhere completely different than a lot of these other beings. You know what I mean? And after today, I was just like, man, my homeboy, he stayed a couple hours away from me, but we was locked up together. We be doing our gaming occasionally together and shit, you know what I'm saying? He had calmed me down because I was hot the other day, and I called him, and I was just like, I was in ragey mode. When I say I was in ragey mode, like I probably could have went out and start punching trees. You know, I ain't one of them kind of beings. That's why my knuckles, I hit faces, but I ain't that stupid. But that's how my energy was feeling. And I felt that way when I was in prison. And it just reminded me that it's these weird laws that's stopping me. They aren't stopping me. They're making me reprocess how I choose to respond. Making me process, because when I was in prison, certain things you couldn't do just because you know what's going to happen. It's the same thing out here. So it had me in a ragey mode. He got me to chill. He was like, nah, bro, blah, 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 1, 2, 3. And I was like, I didn't want to hear this shit at the time, you know what I'm saying? Because we two masculine men, I respect bro a lot. I know he about his, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, I didn't want to hear that shit at the time. At the time, I was just, bruh, cosign me, bruh. He wasn't, which that's good, you know what I'm saying? I love my bro for that, you know what I'm saying? And the next day, and I had hit him and I told him that I really appreciate him. You know what I'm saying? Damn, bro, I love you, man. I really appreciate you for just standing solid. Two masculine energies, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew you wasn't trying to do nothing to try to hurt me or harm me, but you got to give me that energy back, nigga, because you see what space I'm in. This is what masculine men understand about each other, and there's no hate. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, I'm about to go fight my bro. He was like, nah, nigga, you ain't listening to me, blah, blah, blah. Nah, we both understood it. He knew he had to give me that energy. For 2 days, I've been telling bro, I appreciate you. Like, I was really, like, I felt like snapping. Like, I'm in a space to where, like, I'm already out there publicly. You know what I'm saying? So when people be coming around me and trying to do that weird shit, it's like, bro, I already put myself out there. You think I don't know my own history? You think I don't know my own past? You don't think I don't know all my records is public, nigga? Like, whatever the fuck you want to say or do, just know I've been standing on me. That's why the creator put me in this position. I didn't say, yeah, I want to go out here and start go buying and talking to people and shit. Nah. I wish I could learn to fight. Yeah, it's never too late, especially if you're a male. You definitely need to know. If you're a male, you should know, you know. But I wouldn't tell you not to know, because if they shut the system down, you're not going to know how to protect. So you are going to be no use to the females if you don't have any other males around. Now, if you got other males around, they're going to teach you some tactics, but you have to take on a bigger role as kind of like the chef of the community, or like the boat builder. So you would take on a different role, you know what I'm saying? But I still believe that all men are supposed to know how to physically fight. You have to know how to defend yourself if you're going to defend the people around you. You know what I mean? So, and that comes with putting yourself in situations, whether it's in the boxing ring, MMA ring, you know what I'm saying? Preferably, I like real life situations, but I know that causes situations and problems, so I would never tell anybody, just say, hey, go put yourself in a real life situation. No, we got simulated places you can go to create that. You know what I mean? So you just have to understand that you should definitely be in that space to protect and provide. And some of us, we learned that immediately when we was younger. So as we got older, we just had to learn other things. Yeah, no problem, bro. No problem, no problem. We all trying to get right. You know what I'm saying? We all trying to get right. When I was my daughter's age at 6, 7 years old, I had already been in over 20, 30 fights at her age. You know what I'm saying? She'd never been in one. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not trying to say, hey, Minnie, go out there and start fighting and slapping girls and doing all of this. No. Don't do all of that. But I play rough with her, you know, so that way she can kind of get used to the physical contact a little bit, you know what I mean? And I always let her know, like, you're never gonna be in trouble if somebody hits you at school. You better knock their motherfucking head off, because you're gonna learn a lesson and they're gonna learn a lesson. Simple process. Either you didn't hit them hard enough and they're gonna try again, or you're gonna hit them so hard, you're gonna know what you can do when people put you in that space to try to ramp your energy up. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we ain't no bullies, but we ain't no suckers either over here. You know what I'm saying? Last fight, I had to go to rehab, got knocked down. Yeah, it happens, but as long as you get back up, you know what I'm saying? Wing Chun is good for self-defense. Yeah, it's a lot of different techniques and cultures you can go vibe in to kind of learn how to defend yourself. And all women, if you ain't got no men, you better keep a weapon. Keep a weapon. Men are not protecting women in communities because none of us have respect for each other. If I seen a girl fixing her car and it was broke down, I wouldn't go fix it for her because I'd be like, I don't know if that's a demon witch. So I'd be like, oh, she good. You know what I'm saying? But if it was in my community and I knew she was like, oh yeah, that's Robert's wife, car broke down, I'm gonna go over there and help her. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, watch out, Susan, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I know Rob is busy, blah, blah, blah. But nah, this other demonic stuff out here, nah. The women, y'all gotta keep weapons on y'all at all times. I don't give a damn if it's a blade, a gun, some nunchucks, 5 bottles of pepper spray, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you got a bat with some nails and spikes, you gotta keep weapons. You gotta keep something close by, because it don't matter if you got your phone. You're done before the police get to you. And most beings are gonna try to get to you before you can dial numbers. That's how it usually happens. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you gotta use taser, use that too. What I really suggest is women get some men protection. Shit, just figure out how to stop moving around in so many secluded areas or situations to where that weird shit can happen, you know what I'm saying? And I know sometimes women don't be moving by themselves. They be in groups and one will get plucked out the bunch, you know what I'm saying? Like some grapes, like, nigga, let me get this one. I don't know if you need a license for a taser, but God protected us with a license to protect our life. God damn it. I don't care about none of that. We got the right to protect our life and ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So if you need a knife, if you need a license for that, I don't know, get a bitch a kitchen knife. They don't say you need licenses for kitchen knives. I would just walk around with a big ass knife like a sword. Like, I wish you would. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot, and you got to be protected. So I can only imagine if I was a super witchy nigga and I wanted to go around and bully females, I could. And I guarantee you, it's not anything that none of y'all could do about it. You would have to have a weapon. Simple process. I don't give a damn how big of a woman you are. Some women like, I could beat me. You can, but not me. And I'm pretty sure that's how most masculine men feels. Like, yeah, you probably can beat a lot of men. Not me. I will be one of those situations where it's like, yes, I told you to protect yourself. You will come across witchy men and you got to keep yourself protected. Don't be going into them weird spaces where you know it's going to be witchy men and then you're assuming that they won't be witchy. That's the shit I want to keep my daughter away from. No, clubs, witches. Clubs, witches. Witches, clubs. Why would I say, hey, yeah, just go to the club and you just stay over here with the girls and y'all do your thing? It's demons in there too. So you think, the demons just ain't gonna fuck with her? Like, nah, they're going to. That's their job. That's their job. It's your job to enjoy yourself. It's their job to enjoy destroying you, enjoying yourself. That's their job. That's their job. That's why they're so great at it. That's why they focus their energy that way. You know what I'm saying? But I'm huge on protection. I be telling my daughter now, like, don't be arguing with them boys at school. You can hee ha and playing shit, but don't be hitting them. Don't be doing all that roughhouse and being serious. If you playing, y'all playing, that's different. Brothers and sisters play and toughen each other up. Doing that with peers, that's one thing, but don't be getting to that place to where you feel like you can yell and scream and do all these other things. Like the generation transitions here. That's why we going through what we go through. So they don't have the same experiences. That's what our rents didn't do for us. They just made sure we was more connected to the physical realm. All our parents was like, yeah, I'm gonna get you toys, I'm gonna get you a bike, I'm gonna get you this dress that you wanted, I'm gonna get you these nails you could put on, I'm gonna get you this Nintendo game system. They got us everything to connect us to this realm. They was literally like, disconnect. Shit crazy. But now it's our job. And the thing is, with it being our job, we will have to take the boot. It is a lot that you will have to take. Some days you may just wake up like me, motherfuckers like slap shit out you, like, oh! I couldn't wake up by my alarms, but when I looked over at my phone and I seen a random number, I usually try to stay away from that kind of stuff right away, but something was like, man, just check it out. As soon as I seen the first two lines and I just hit the scroll and it kept going, I said, nah, we don't read those. Much love, Alicia. I see you, Kara. Yeah, I just got the mace and my protectors are out of jail or in prison. That's how it be, because they got to keep them away from you. That's the easiest way to get to you. If I take your protectors out the way, then I can come do all that witchy stuff to you that I ever wanted to do. Because who's going to come do anything about it? You don't have nobody physically present that can help you. With the help you got to call them, and them niggas be taking their time, you know what I'm saying? You see them at all the little fast food restaurants hanging out and sit out. It used to be donut shops, but these new cops is our generation. So they wanted to get away from the donut stigma. So now you see them at Arby's sitting there, and McDonald's sitting there, Taco Bell sitting there. Like, you gotta keep yourself good, you know. You gotta keep yourself good. They did a number on us, you know what I'm saying? And we understanding what they was doing so that way we can make the corrections. They still attacking us while we're making corrections, and then we're still like, ooh, bobbing, weaving, swiping, hitting, and then getting right back to what we was doing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by this whole overall picture. Just like our fruits is major. Our fruits is major. It's getting to the point where parents will be calling their kids names that don't look fruitful. Big facts just to make them get a taste. That's being caught out there. Hey, big facts, Tabitha. Big facts. Shout out to you. You've been rocking for a long time too. You know what I'm saying? That's facts, man. You have your own parents putting siblings against each other. You know what I'm saying? They like, oh yeah, I'm tired of your brother always calling me for this. Your sister is going through this space, and I keep, and then they gossiping and dramaing about one sibling to get the other sibling against the other sibling, and I'm just like, I had to jump out of that hopscotch, that double dutch phase, you know what I'm saying? To be aware is to be alive. Awareness is powerful. Facts. I always say knowledge is power when used properly. Knowledge is power when used properly. It can be power if you use it demonically, but I don't call that power. You know what I'm saying? I don't call that power. If you gotta be a sneaky snake, I don't call that power. Yes, a snake may get over on somebody by being sneaky and maybe a little bit stronger, but look, that's not strength. You had to sneak them to do that. That's why I say knowledge is power when used properly. You know, that shit is huge out here. We all gotta keep ourselves safe and protected. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing a lot of rip and running today. I gotta do a little bit more. So I ain't gonna be out here too long, you know what I'm saying? But your fruits is gonna carry you a long way. And they are gonna continue to line those weapons up against you. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't feel like them weapons against you, they're still around you. And how many times have you been to a club and bullets ain't got no name on them? Take these physical representations and implement them in the spiritual realm where it all started first. We gotta have a starting point. That's where it all comes to. You gotta have a starting point. That's where we're always looking for the source. We're trying to figure out the starting point. You know, once we get our starting points back, then we can get back to our inner self and being us authentically from within outwardly. Some of us in this field are. We just gotta wear some shit anyways. I'm just gonna leave it like that. I ain't gonna make it seem like everybody's not being authentic, because there is a lot of authentic beings out here that's vibrating in space. You just gotta deal with a bunch of shit, you know what I'm saying? Because you are authentic. So to be aware is to be alive, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna run up too long, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody tapping in. I gotta do it, but once I get everything organized, on the creator, I am going to be letting it be known when I got these live streams going on, when I got all these other things going on that I'm doing right now. I'm still like organizing life from my sowing season. I had 8 months of some stuff, and I'm like still trying to clear it out. So I'm just like still a little scrambled right now, but the scramble is slowly turning into cheese eggs. Someone's organized. I'm about to put it on a plate. We about to plate it up. You know what I'm saying? These eggs I hatched myself. So you gotta eat to live. You know what I'm saying? I don't live to eat. I eat to live. I don't live to eat. I eat to live. You know what I'm saying? Keep that in mind. And always remember, if you starving and you not dead and your body is not all the way tapped out, just don't say starving. Just replace the word starving with fasting. Fasting. I've never seen a fat person die from not having no food. Even when I had more weight on me and I wasn't fat, I just was a little bit bigger than I was now. Your body is storing it. That's what all of this is. It's storing it for you. We are literally everything. We come packaged with everything. You know what I'm saying? So replace those. The more GMOs you can kind of get out of your body, the more it'll help you process a little bit better. So that's why it's important now to make sure you are replacing starving with fasting, being more mindful of what you're putting in your body. We already being more aware of what we're seeing and what we're listening to, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard to work on everything at once. And I agree with that 1,000%, you know what I'm saying? But we gotta make these starts and these efforts start somewhere. And if they shut it down and then we all had to run, I would hate for people like my brother and I got some sick cousins, and you know, that's just a little bit on the, you know, they was living to eat and not eating to live. They would be in that department, and then I would feel guilty if shit happened, because I'm not gonna stop running because I told you years ago that you should start fasting. The system is gonna have another hit, and we have to be ready. We have to be ready. It's hard to even plan for 5-10 years down the line, you know what I mean? So you just gotta be ready at all times, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be vigilant. I'm gonna leave it at that, you know what I'm saying? Tapping everything down below once I add it up down there, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody tapping in with me, you know what I'm saying? Peace and love to the kings and queens.